हेलो गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू नियो कॉमिक्स। मैं हूं आपका होस्ट डॉक्टर मनीष और आज के इस वीडियो में होने वाला है कुछ बहुत ही स्पेशल बिकॉज सिर्फ मैं नहीं हूं अकेला इस वीडियो में। मेरे साथ है तीन अमेजिंग इंडियन कॉमिक बुक क्रिएटर्स। स्टार्टिंग ऑफ विद राइटर द राइटर ऑफ कोडनेम अल्फा एंड टेक्निकल लवर्स, बिजॉय भाई, who is creating some serious ripples in Indian comic book storytelling via his unique writing style. With us, we also have an Indian comic book artist who is also working for international, comic books right now. And as Hanuman Kind said, he is not an Indian comic book artist. He is more like a comic book artist from India. Welcome, Tadam bhai. And our friendship goes as long as 6, 7 years now. So it's glad to be here on the same video. And with us, we also have Utsab, जिनका ये पहला कमर्शियल कॉमिक बुक प्रोजेक्ट है, इनका डेब्यू है। बट द प्राउएस्ट, द फिनेस दैट ही हैज एग्जिबिटेड, कोई बिलीव नहीं करेगा कि ये उनका पहला कमर्शियल कॉमिक बुक काम है। दैट्स हाउ ग्रेट हिज वर्क वाज। वेलकम उत्सव दा। सो
थैंक यू।
इंटरव्यू पॉडकास्ट टाइप का सेशन हम करने वाले हैं। I'll be asking you all some questions that I have in mind and also some of the fans want to ask you all. So without any more further delay, let's get started. So the first question I have is, BlackSheep is a creator-owned venture, and can you tell my viewers what exactly that means? Like, because this is something entirely new, I have not heard about this in the Indian comic book scene per se. So this question is directed towards Bijoy bhai and Tadam bhai, who is the two owners of BlackSheep, as far as my knowledge is concerned. So can you shed some light, both of you, please?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll let you go first.
Okay. Yeah, you're right, Manish. So the whole idea of like this whole creator-owned thing, right? That's a little bit of a new space in India. But I won't really say that that's like 100% original thought, because things like this have existed in the West. I think
Yes.
the most popular case being Image Comics, right?
Right. Todd
So
McFarlane.
exactly. I mean, the whole group, right? Where Jim Lee, McFarlane, all Liefeld, all
Mark Silvestri was also there.
correct, correct. So the whole idea being that within our Indian comic book scene, right? Most of the products or the books that come out, the characters or the IP of the characters are owned by the publishers themselves, right?
Right.
And in our case, we felt that when we decided to sort of start Black Sheep, right? We felt like there were some stories that needed to be told, but we were not really sure if publishers would be ready to sort of accept those as part of their catalog of products, right? Because even up, even
The
if
vision might not match, right? That's what you were
may
skeptical
not.
about.
Correct, correct. May not, because these are stories that are very sort of dear to us, right? And there's very specific reasons why we would like to say these, right? Which may not resonate with some of the existing publishers out there, especially because they already have their own universes and all of that, right? Or they have a certain point of view that they are trying to put across, right? So from that perspective, we felt like, okay, these are stories we want to say, so we need to own the rights to these characters, right? But once we sort of put these out in the world, once we have a product, we can actually tie up with existing publishers to bring the book to life, right? Like actually help to in the physical aspect of production of the book or releasing of the book, right? Or sort of like hosting it online for people to buy, things like that, right? So
No.
it's sort of a slightly different or unconventional partnership model that we thought of
Mm-hmm.
with respect to engaging with publishers. But that being said, right, the crux is that any story that is going to come out from Black Sheep, from the Black Sheep stable, those the rights for those characters will be owned either by Tadam or myself or both of us or whoever is a person in Black Sheep who's actually creating it, that person owns the rights to it. So they can take it and do like whatever they want with it.
Okay.
Which simply means, right, tomorrow, let's say, like I suddenly feel like, okay, Technicolor Lovers needs to be audio drama or something like that, right? I can go ahead
Mm-hmm.
and do whatever I can to, push it in that direction without being answerable to anyone else above me, right? Because it's my
I
characters,
see.
I own it, So yeah, that's the gist of the whole thing.
Okay,
And
so now where my confusion comes is because as I just said, you and Tadam Bhai are the co-owners of Black Sheep.
Hmm.
But in Technicolor Lovers, which is the first comic book from your this venture, Tadam Bhai does not have any direct creative input that is reflected in the comic book, right?
Correct.
So how does he play a role in this particular comic book, the Technicolor Lovers series? Tadam Bhai, if
So
you want to answer
yeah,
that.
I'll let Tadam go first.
yeah, let me answer that. So, Manish, why basically the idea behind Black Sheep is like, projects being completely owned by the creators who are like, involved in the project itself, right? जो owner है या
Hmm.
जिनका black sheep है, they are not necessarily like, owners of the IP. So
Okay.
in case of Technicolor Lovers, I am not directly involved with the project. I don't have any creative inputs in it. So Bijoy and
Mm-hmm.
Utsab, they are like, the people directing the project, right? So it's completely up to them, जो भी चीजें हैं. It's like सारा कुछ उनके ऊपर है, right? So I
So
am not there.
you have no stakes in
No,
this.
no, no, no. I'm
Okay.
I'm I'm just with them in spirit, so to say.
Right, right. But another question is that Technicolor Lovers, may it's not just Black Sheep. We also have a Yali Dream Creations logo on there, and Yali Dream Creations have been putting out some amazing comics, but they are not known for being, creator-owned publisher, right? So this is a creator-owned venture, Black Sheep, and now you have a co-publisher who is not creator-owned. So is it still creator-owned or is it not?
It is
So
so.
yeah,
Sorry, Tadam.
Bijoy should answer that. Yeah. No, you
Okay.
should go ahead.
No, so this is okay. This is all basically business complications, right? That's how I would call it.
Mhm.
So to understand why Yali is there on the cover, you need to understand like the context of where it began and all of that, right? So
Right.
when Technicolor Lovers, the whole discussion behind it began almost like 2 years ago, right? At that point, Yali was on board to publish it, like any other Yali book. It was going to be a Yali book, right? At that point, in fact,
Okay.
they had done some of the funding as well during the very early initial stages, right? Uh, but later on, some priorities changed. Okay. And in order to keep the project moving, I had to sort of pitch in myself. Like I had to sort of step in and help with the funding and things like that, right? The assumption was that at some point later I'll be sort of reimbursed or something like that, right? But then, as time went on, right, both of us, both, like Aswin as well as myself, we started getting the feeling that, okay, first of all, this is not a commissioned work from Yali. Yali did not approach me to write this. This is a story. This is my story that I sort of pitched to them, right? So then it sort of makes more sense that I own it, right? Because I know everything about this, right? So probably I should be the one taking it forward, right? So this thought was
Mhm.
there. And then simultaneously on the side, Tadam and I were having discussions about, hey, we need to do something together. Okay, it was just
Mhm.
something, right? And we were talking about Druk and other properties that we had, right? But at this point, I was like, okay, you know what? We also have a half-finished book here, which is Technicolor Lovers, right? This should probably
Mhm.
be in the Black Sheep label. Uh, it just makes sense, right? Because like I own it, right? So might as well put it
Mhm.
under this label, right? So both these conversations sort of merged together, and that's how it happened, right? And
Oh,
Yali is still helping us, sort of, they're helping us with the production process, printing, production,
distribution.
distribution, warehouse, those kind of things, right? Which is why you see their label on the books as well. So Yali does not have any IP related involvement. That's still owned by us, meaning Black Sheep. To be even more clear, meaning me, in this case, in this particular case. But yeah, the Yali's logo will be there as long as they're the ones helping us to publish the book.
Print, distribute,
Print,
and
yeah.
all
So,
that.
Manish, I
Understood.
would like to add one thing.
Sure,
So
sure.
basically, Black Sheep के under we the creators will be just creating the stories, right? The creating the books. So we Black Sheep itself won't be publishing, like won't be handling the publishing, printing, and direct
Oh, okay.
distribution mostly. So we will be going to different publishers and we'll try to like get it distributed or printed or published via
Understood.
an already like established publisher. That's why like you'll see कि अलग-अलग books में we might have like different publishers involved, and we might
Publisher,
have like
co-publisher.
different logos as well on the books, along with the Black Sheep ka logo. Yeah.
I see. So Technicolor Lovers is still entirely creator owned. That's the summary, I guess. Right.
Correct.
So next question is in this Black Sheep venture, Bijoy bhai and Tadam bhai both are there. So Tadam is an amazing artist. And why did the first book, like how did Technicolor Lovers end up being executed with the help of Utsab? Because Utsab had not been working in this Indian comic book scene for a long time. He's very new, he's fresh. How did Bijoy bhai come in contact with him, and why did you resonate with him more, like for the first release, when it could have been your co-publisher, like your co-owner? That's Tadam.
Yeah, so I think it's partly answered in the previous question, right? Because, like I said, there was never a sort of discussion between Tadam and I about, hey, let's work together on Technicolor Lovers, because we were already
Mm-hmm.
working together on something else. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Technicolor Lovers
Or something else.
on Druk, yeah, correct. For Technicolor Lovers, I was also looking for a certain specific style of artist, which was slightly
Mm-hmm.
outside the
Conventional
conventional comic
genre of
book.
comic book making.
Yeah, a little bit outside of that, but I still didn't know what. Okay, I mean, I was still looking at other artists that I had worked with at the time. But somehow those conversations didn't happen. They didn't work out, things like that. But it's like things like this. I believe there's an element of destiny involved somewhere in here, right? Because it's not every day that you're scrolling on Facebook and you're like doom scrolling and you find like somebody has posted something about Inktober, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a series of sketches, like illustrations on Inktober, and that happens to exactly match with the kind of artwork you're looking for, right? That doesn't
The
happen.
vision,
Yeah, exactly. So
right?
that doesn't happen. So I'm talking about Utsa, of course, right? So I found this,
Mm-hmm.
right, that the Inktober series of sketches, right, and I didn't even think, okay, like I said, at that time Aswin was also involved, right? So usually you get the publisher involved first, saying, hey, this
Yep.
is artist, whatever. I reached out to him to Utsab directly first, right? So I pinged him. I
Mm-hmm.
told him, hey, we have this project. Would you be interested to work together and all of that, right? And only after the conversation progressed a little bit is when I even like brought Aswin into the equation. Yeah, I think the rest. I think Utsap can help to fill in.
Yeah.
Oh, but
Yeah, because
I want to add one thing, right? Like what really
sure,
sort
sure.
of caught my attention about his style, right? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
See, the what I was really looking for from the artwork for this book is that it needs to evoke a certain vibe, right? Like the moment you look at the image, right, that sort
Mm-hmm.
of the space you're in, right, or the environment you're in needs to sort of come to life. You need to be able to feel that like the wetness, the moisture in the air, and how dark it is, or
It
like
should
the
be immersive enough for the reader.
exactly, yeah, that right, and that's a very difficult sort of quality to it's not a quality that everyone possesses, every artist
Right.
possesses, right? So seeing something like this, even those Inktober sketches, right? You could feel the texture of whoever that person was that he drew, right? I could taste like the
Mm.
smoke of cigarette from that guy's lips. You know, that was the kind of vibe I got the moment I saw that one image, right? And that was the thing that really sort of sealed the deal. So yeah, so now I'll hand over to Utsab to complete.
Yeah, because the next question is
Yeah.
directed towards Utsavda only. Utsavda, this is your first
Ah,
project that is, properly published, and
yeah.
none of us is going to believe that because that's just how good it was. It's so
Yeah.
realistic,
Thank
the
you.
light and
Thank you.
shadow, the game you have played, it's amazing,
Hmm.
it's mesmerizing. So my question is like, why did you go with this style rather than, the safe side of drawing it conventionally?
Hmm.
So any particular
Hi.
reason for
Hi,
this
everyone.
style? Hello.
Ah, I need to unlearn myself. That is the main thing. Because at
Mm-hmm.
first, I had some kind of inspirations, like you said, Sin City, and any other DC comics to feel the vibe, to create the atmosphere. But I needed some kind of a break from the conventional comic book styles
Mm-hmm.
because it should create a mark. Because if I get inspired by other artists, then where I will be. So
Your
I need
signature
to
style will not be
exist.
really developed.
Yeah. So I need to unlearn many things from my art practice as well. So that
Mm-hmm.
that was the main what should I say main path for gripping
Okay.
the story and to join with the Bijoy's venture. That was the main thing.
Mm. To match his vision of storytelling for this particular
Yeah,
series. And
yeah.
it is pretty realistic, but as you said, मैं ना डायरेक्टली किसी आर्टिस्ट का नहीं बता सकता कि ये फिंच का स्टाइल है या एलेक्स रॉस का है. It is realistic, like Alex Ross also did realistic stuff. So did you take inspirations as you copy any style? You tried to make something out of your own style. So आप references use करते थे, photographs use करते थे, या it just came like you know अंदर से ही आ गया ये स्टाइल कि नहीं, this is how I will proceed without any
It's
references
majorly from my
whatsoever?
not many references, but मैं इंस्पिरेशन लेता था, लेकिन that was mine. That was totally mine from
Okay.
my art practice, from my doodles. I do doodles
Uh,
every day, almost every day. So I love figure drawing from my bachelor's and masters as well. कि मैं प्रैक्टिस बहुत करता था ह्यूमन फिगर्स को लेके, एनाटॉमी को लेके.
mhm,
तो मैं चाहता था कि टू ब्रेक द मोल्ड ऑफ द कॉमिक इटसेल्फ.
mhm.
क्योंकि हम लोगों ने इतने सालों से जो कॉमिक्स में जो एनाटॉमी देखे हैं, जो एनालॉजीज देखे हैं, तो आई थॉट कि आई शुड चेंज दोज डायलेक्ट्स, दोज नैरेटिव, दोज काइंड ऑफ जेस्चर्स, ऑफ फिगरेटिव जेस्चर्स.
तो
तो
आप लोगों को ऐसा कोई
हाँ
डर नहीं लग रहा था, क्योंकि फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल दिस इज मोस्टली ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट विद सम स्पॉट
हाँ
कलरिंग. उसके ऊपर दिस इज नॉट अ कन्वेंशनल कॉमिक बुक आर्ट स्टाइल. इंडियन ऑडियंस ओरिएंटेड स्टोरी टेलिंग है. ऑडियंस रिसीव करेगा इसको बढ़िया तरीके से, इस स्टाइल को, ये जो नॉयरिश ये है. आप लोगों को मतलब
तो
ऐसा कुछ स्केप्टिसिज्म था आप लोगों के अंदर व्हाइल मेकिंग दिस?
एट फर्स्ट था, मैं नहीं बोलूंगा कि नहीं था, क्योंकि मैं फिर भी बोलूंगा कि एक चीज था कि एकदम फर्स्ट जो कन्वर्सेशन हुआ था अश्विन, विजय और मेरा इस बुक को लेके, एकदम पहले, लगभग 2.5 साल पहले, तो
ओके.
हम लोगों ने, मैंने पहले ही पिच किया था कि इट शुड बी इन ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट एंड रेड. तो पहले ही सीन सिटी का एक रेफरेंस आया कि मैंने बोला था कि हाँ सीन सिटी कर सकते हैं, लेकिन वी कैन एक्सप्लोर मोर, वी कैन डू इट. तो मार्केट को लेके भी थोड़ा सा स्केप्टिसिज्म था हम लोगों में कि इंडियन ऑडियंस को अच्छा लगेगा कि नहीं, ये सब डाउट्स थे पहले. बट आफ्टर दैट जितना भी प्रोग्रेस हुआ उसके बाद, प्रोग्रेस होते होते हम लोग भी श्योर होते गए कि नहीं, वी कैन डू इट. We can reach out to the audience and make them understand what we are basically trying to do. with our project.
Right. If executed
it was
properly,
tough.
even black and white can be very, appealing as well.
Yeah. क्योंकि स्टोरी का जो स्ट्रक्चर है, इट डिमांडेड दैट ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट वाइब.
Understood. Yeah,
क्योंकि
because I
विजय ने
can't
जैसे
imagine
लिखा है,
Technicolor Lovers in full color now.
हाँ. अगर ये फुल कलर होता ना, इसका जो साइकोलॉजी है, उसका जो डेप्थ है, उसका जो डार्कनेस है, वो मिसगाइडेड हो जाते रीडर्स.
तो जैसे कि आप बताइए, 2.5 साल पुराना एक कन्वर्सेशन से शुरू हो रहा था. सो द फर्स्ट बुक केम आफ्टर 2.5 years of the conception of idea and planning and plotting. And this book is
Yeah.
pretty amazing. I have done the review. I was going gaga over it. And now my skepticism comes into play because ये पहला volume है. And it is a pretty
Yeah.
sophisticated comic book. It's not a, run of the mill, easy project बिल्कुल नहीं था ये. नेक्स्ट वॉल्यूम क्या 2.5 साल बाद आने वाला है? एंड इफ दैट्स द केस, आई गेस इट सो व्हेन कैन वी एक्सपेक्ट इट?
तो पहले बुक 1 में हम लोगों को एक्सप्लोर करने में बहुत टाइम लगा था, क्योंकि स्टाइल कैसा होगा, नैरेटिव कैसा होगा, इन सबको लेके हम लोगों को, विजय को भी बहुत एक्सप्लोर करना पड़ा था. ही नीडेड टू एक्सप्लोर, माने ही आल्सो नीडेड टू अनलर्न मेनी थिंग्स from his safe zones. So बुक 2 में शायद जल्दी होगा,
क्योंकि कैरेक्टर
can
डिजाइन के
expect-
लिए भी अलग सा टाइम नहीं लगेगा शायद, बिकॉज इट्स ऑलरेडी
हाँ.
ट्रू.
क्योंकि एक बार अगर पेस,
बताइए.
हाँ, तो एक बार अगर पेस आ जाए तो उसके बाद we can continue part.
Because Indian audience, as I was saying, is not very forgiving when you are delaying projects.
Yeah.
So they will watch because that's just how good it was. Even I am craving for the next volume right now, and I know that's not possible. So I'll be eagerly waiting. I will be eagerly waiting for the next volume, and it's going to be a 3-volume series, right?
Yeah.
And do you have any tentative idea when we'll get the last, like when the story will end and the readers will get to read it in its entirety? Are you running for a deadline or something?
For
Either
all
one of you
three,
can answer.
for all 3 volumes, it's a bit difficult to say right now. See, but
Yes.
see, what I want to say is this, right? It's really, I understand, our readers are sort of, they're like eagerly waiting for things to come out. They don't want like gap between the books, right? I get it. But then good things
because
also.
there are so many characters and so many layers. Na? It's very easy to forget after say 2-3 months only.
Correct. So a few things we're doing, right? In fact, maybe the one thing we're doing to sort of help with that is in the second book or in the subsequent 2 books, right? We are also going to have some sort of recap of what happens in book 1. And by recap, I don't just mean like a paragraph of text, right? Not just, hey, this is what you said. No, but visually, right? Like a gist of whatever happened in book 1, we'll try and represent in the first few pages of book 2, and similarly in book 3 as well, right? So that way, that continuity of, okay, like where did I forget, where did I leave off the previous book, that won't get lost. You might see some images that are
that's a great
familiar, and
idea.
it'll trigger back, right? So
It's like a film. No, it's like a celluloid. So that's why
correct.
will help the readers.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, like sometimes I feel like, at least in the case of book 3, right, I feel like there should be a gap and you should not remember what you read in book 1, because that is going to give you a jolt, right? I don't want to reveal too much more, right?
It's already giving me jolt, so I don't know what you're planning.
So yeah, so there's things like this. Anyways, right? So what, in essence, what I'm trying to say is, good things take time, right? So if our readers can forgive or can wait like a year for, sorry,
that's my line.
I'm saying like if our readers can wait like a year or 2 years for a TV series, right? Please be kind to us, and our intention is never to delay, right? We are constantly working on it. I'm already writing the second volume, right? So there's no intention of delay at all. It's just that it takes this much time to get something of this level of quality out. So please bear with us.
Right. एंड आई लव दिस आइडिया दैट यू जस्ट शेयर्ड, बिकॉज होता क्या है ना, जब हम वेब सीरीज या टीवी सीरीज भी देखते हैं एंड वी आर वेटिंग फॉर अ कपल ऑफ इयर्स टू ड्रॉप इट, एंड जब वो ड्रॉप होता है उससे जस्ट कुछ दिन पहले ही हम लोग यूट्यूब में समरी वीडियोस देख
Yeah.
लेते हैं कि इससे पहला सीजन में क्या हुआ था।
Yeah.
एंड जो आप आइडिया
हम्म।
शेयर किए कि हाँ कुछ 4-5 पेजेस हम डेडिकेट ही करेंगे एज अ प्रीफेस, जहाँ पर प्रीवियस वॉल्यूम का स्टोरी का जिस्ट रहेगा, ताकि हम लोग को फिर से टेक्निकल लवर्स वॉल्यूम 1 थॉरली पढ़ना ना पड़े। एंड दैट्स अ वेरी गुड आइडिया, बिकॉज मैं इंडियन कॉमिक्स में हार्डली शायद इस चीज को एक्सप्लोर करते हुए देखा हूँ। दे जस्ट keep us waiting on an end, and that's why many of the readers are, they are having grievances against the Indian comic books in general for being too late with the subsequent volumes. So
Right.
that's a great idea and I wish all the best. तो देखते हैं वॉल्यूम 2 में क्या आता है। एंड इनफ अबाउट टेक्निकल लवर्स, नाउ आई वांट टू नो कि आप में से हर एक क्रिएटिव के जैसे विजय भाई के कलम से आगे क्या आ रहा है, तदम भाई के स्केच पेन से आगे क्या आ रहा है, और उत्सव दा के पेन ब्रश से आगे हम लोग क्या एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं। व्हाट आर द नेक्स्ट प्रोजेक्ट्स यू ऑल आर वर्किंग ऑन? लेट्स गो विद विजय भाई फर्स्ट।
हाँ विजय।
For me, yeah. So, like I said, Technicolor Lovers Reel 2 already started the writing. I would say, I think maybe, okay, it's too early to put a deadline, but maybe like 50% will be done by end of June, something like that. And it's not like, Utsab will actually start before that, probably, or around that time. Like he won't really wait for me to complete the writing before he starts. So, yeah.
Makes sense.
So that's going to happen. And then, other than that, from Yali, yeah, there is the much delayed Codename Alpha 3 called World Breaker. A lot of people are asking me about it. But okay, Yali's release schedule, you need to ask Aswin. He's the only guy who can give clarity. I cannot comment on it.
Tadam will be there, right?
Tadam is on the next book, the final book. So this is book 3. Book 4 is the final book.
So it is going to be a 4-part series.
Yeah, for 4 parts. It was meant to be 3 parts, but we had to split the second.
So that's what I remember.
Yeah, the second book we had to split it into 2. So a part of it is
who is drawing and coloring the third book, the one, the World Breaker, or
I don't know yet. I don't know yet. So that's what. See, there's a lot of these kind of logistical decisions because these are big books, right? These are like 130 plus page books. One single artist is not going to commit to the whole thing, so we have to split, right? And it needs to. It's not just about dividing it among artists. It's also about which artist suits what part of the story, right? There needs to be a logical sort of like mapping and all of that done. So it's a bit complicated. Anyway, if you have Aswin on your show anytime, please do ask him.
sure.
So yeah, so that's going on. Then yeah, from Holy Cow, Worm 2 is coming out. Mumbai Comic Con. Fingers crossed, if printing everything goes well, it will be out in Mumbai Comic Con. If not, just around that time it'll be out. And then Worm 3 and Worm 4 as well are also. Worm 3 is also pretty much done. Sorry.
The works are completed.
Worm 3, yeah, writing and artwork. Yeah, artwork is also done. Only lettering is pending. And Worm 4 is something I'm excited about. It's a company-wide crossover, like not all, like some of the major Holy Cow characters sort of coming together. That big fanboy fight moment that everyone looks forward to. That's what's going to happen in Worm 4. People might die. So yeah, all of that, right? And then of course, again, in terms of like life priorities for me, is definitely Druk, right? Druk is something both Tadam and I, we're taking our own sweet time because we want to capture, like Technicolor Lovers, we want to capture like a unique. What is the unique edge that this project offers, right? We are still, I would say, we're still discovering that. We have a story, okay? We have the story, and the story itself, it has legs to stand on its own. But still, when you place this book alongside all of the other Indian comic books, right, there's something, that edge that needs to make it stand out. We have some ideas for it, but we're still sort of taking our time getting more ideas to make sure that things come out perfect. So that's also something that very actively working on. There are a few others. Well, I don't want to mention those. So those are very, very early stages, just brainstorming discussions happening. But essentially, it's just the ones that I just mentioned.
So if I can summarize, it's gonna be Worm, Druk, Technicolor Lovers, and Codename Alpha,
Yes.
third volume.
Yes.
Okay, then moving on to Tadam bhai. Can you take over? What can you expect from your sketch next? What are you working on right now? Both Indian and international publishers.
Manish bhai, so currently I'm involved in 4 projects. So one of them is there's no noise from my background, right?
No,
What
it's
is that?
No, no,
perfectly
Okay,
fine.
cool. Because there is some noise in my background. Anyway, so there are 4 projects I'm currently involved in right now. One is like obviously Dhruv, right? Me and Bijoy are working on that actively, but still taking our own time on that. Apart from that, I'm also working on that Royal Enfield wala comic book, MLG Never Outgunned. So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it has like 4 more parts to for that story to complete. Like it has 4 more issues to come. So that one I'm working on, and apart from that, I'm doing a short story for Alpha Comics for that for their anthology book, and the last one I'm working on currently is for Swayambhu Comics for their book called Badri. I have been working on that project very slowly for quite some time now, but I have kind of found my pace now, and I'm kind of on my way to finish it soon. Apart from that, I do have like a couple of international projects on the pipeline, but I can't really mention those names yet. It's not for Marvel, um, but yeah, but still in early talks. I hope things work out, and fingers crossed, and it goes well. But then right now, I'm really excited to like get at least the first issue done for Druk, and let's find a proper publisher for that book, and see where it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Great.
It will go really well.
Dhruv, हाँ
Thanks,
तदम भाई
Utsab.
का कैलिबर इम्प्रूव किए जा रहा है
Yeah.
एंड आई कैन रिमेम्बर लाइक एज आई सेड ना वी हैव बीन फ्रेंड्स फॉर ओवर लाइक 5-6 years नाउ और बोला था एक टाइम पर कि हाँ this guy you will be working for international publishers someday soon and it actually happened and I was more than elated to see him win. He is getting bigger and bigger. His name is spreading all across the world now. So really proud of you Tadam bhai. Keep going.
Thank you, Manish bhai. Yeah.
And now moving on to Utsabda. So Utsabda is also working on that Alpha comic wala jo anthology series hai, right?
Yeah,
The one
Manasa
Tadam bhai is
anthology.
also working on. Yep. So Manasa anthology, Technicolor Lovers, and what else?
अल्फा का और एक प्रोजेक्ट आ रहा है वो हफ्शी हाँ हफ्शी और एक अभी नहीं रिवील करूंगा, ये बहुत ही सरप्राइज है, तो आफ्टर जुलाई यू कैन हियर ऑफ इट। तो ये बहुत ही सरप्राइज वाला प्रोजेक्ट होगा। हाँ अल्फा का ही होगा, अल्फा राज कॉमिक्स इन दोनों का टाई अप होगा, तो दैट विल बी अ सरप्राइज। लेट्स सी। ये मेरा बहुत ही एक ये बोलने से समझ जाओगे तुम, और नहीं बोलूंगा।
ठीक है हाँ स्पॉइलर हो जाएगा, रहने दीजिए।
I'm very excited to see what you do next, Utsabda. बहुत वो हर्षी प्रोजेक्ट भी बहुत exciting लग रहा है। Frankly, when I first saw the announcement, when I first saw the announcement, so it was a little, I was taken aback कि okay ये थोड़ा सा racial slur की तरह लग रहा है, and but then when I saw the video जिसमें
कुछ और जो मैं मिस कर रहा हूँ,
sorry,
हफ्शी वाला का ही बात कर रहे हो या सम अदर प्रोजेक्ट?
उसी की बात कर रहा हूँ। So मतलब जो नाम है ना हफ्शी, when you talk about it in these parts of like our country,
हवस से एसोसिएट कर देते हैं लोग।
नहीं, it's used as a like, it's kind of used as a word that is similar to like जैसे किसी नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न को चिंकी बोल दिया, तो उस टाइप का है। But then I saw this video जिसमें साहिल भाई was explaining कि the history behind that word, right? कैसे वो word
वो मेरे ही
आया
पॉडकास्ट में
और
शायद बता रहे थे ना, दैट
हाँ हाँ हाँ,
कंजंक्शन
वही
वाला
वही वही,
इंटरप्रिटेशन।
हाँ तुम्हारे वाले उसमें। तो yeah, then I came to know about that and I said कि okay, I mean, जैसा मैंने सोचा था ऐसा नहीं है, it's actually very interesting. So yeah, I'm
हाँ,
really
पता है,
इट इज
excited.
गोइंग टू बी
it will be,
वेल एक्सप्लेन्ड।
हाँ हाँ, इट विल बी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग, क्योंकि साहिल का जो मोटो है, बहुत, ये मुझे बहुत ऑनेस्ट लगा, क्योंकि एक ब्रांड है चामार बोल के, तो चामार जो वर्ड है, ये भी एक स्लर जैसे यूज होता है, तो ये एक
बंगाल में तो
ब्रांड
बहुत
बना है।
भयंकर तरीके से यूज किया
हाँ
जाता है इस स्लर को।
हाँ, तो इसको काउंटर किया उस ब्रांड ने। तो हम लोग भी वही प्लान कर रहे थे, मेरे साहिल से उस दिन बात हो रहा था, तो ही सेड दैट ही वांट टू रेवोल्यूशनाइज दिस वर्ड, क्योंकि ये जो एक पैटर्न है, ये सोचने का जो पैटर्न है, द साइकोसिस बिहाइंड द वर्ड, इट शुड बी चेंज्ड, इट
बिल्कुल।
शुड बी प्रेजेंटेड फ्रॉम ए डिफरेंट पर्सपेक्टिव। सो ये पर्सपेक्टिव को लेके ही पूरा काम है, ये साइकोलॉजी को लेके, हिस्ट्री को लेके एक बहुत अच्छा टेक है। तो लेट्स सी, लेट्स सी।
Because the similar thing happened with the N word. The N word is खुलकर बोल नहीं
Yeah,
पाते, पहले बोलते थे बट अभी
yeah,
नहीं।
yeah,
तो हफ्शी
yeah.
को भी थोड़ा नॉर्मलाइज किया जाएगा लग रहा है थ्रू दिस
हाँ
प्रोजेक्ट।
हाँ हाँ हाँ,
ग्रेट
क्योंकि
ग्रेट।
देखो, कॉमिक्स कॉमिक्स ऐसा ही होना चाहिए, क्योंकि अगर हम चीजों को, हम ये जो स्टीरियोटाइप्स है सोसाइटी में, ये अगर काउंटर ना कर पाए थ्रू कॉमिक्स, तो ये कॉमिक्स का माने ये मेकिंग का कोई इशू नहीं बनता है, तो ये मीडियोकर बन जाता है। तो साहिल ने
बिल्कुल।
मुझे जब अप्रोच किया था, मैंने भी बोला था कि ये बहुत कंट्रोवर्शियल हो सकता है, ये बहुत इशू क्रिएट कर सकता है। तो साहिल ने मुझे समझाया कि आ, ये चीजों को नॉर्मलाइज करते करते हम लोग ये स्लर बना दिए हैं। इट इज नॉट द नॉर्मल सिचुएशन, इट इज मेड अप। सो
या
इन
क्योंकि
चीजों को
एब्सिनिया इज
काउंटर
द
करना
नेम,
चाहिए।
एब्सिनिया का ही
या
ब्रेक डाउन कर
या
करके हफ्शी बना
या
था शायद।
या तो इन चीजों को काउंटर करने के लिए इनका जो पूरा हिस्ट्री है हमको समझाना पड़ेगा, एवं रीडर्स को भी समझना पड़ेगा कि ये वर्ड जो हम यूज कर रहे हैं, इसका बैकग्राउंड क्या है, ये वर्ड हम लोग ऐसे यूज क्यों कर रहे हैं।
थोड़ा हिस्टोरिकल एनलाइटनमेंट
हाँ
भी मिल जाएगा।
हाँ हाँ हाँ, तो हिस्ट्री शुड बी नोन इन ए प्रॉपर वे। So
So
let's
you
see,
guys are
let's see
not just
what
creating
happens.
comics, you are also breaking barriers via your creations,
Yeah,
and that is what creators should
yeah,
be aiming for as well.
yeah,
And that's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah, yeah.
And with that, I come to the last question is that let's come back again to Technicolor Lovers. So readers के मन में सवाल है, as India is the core audience that you are looking forward to, हिंदी edition कब आ रहा है? Like आ रहा है भी या नहीं? If you guys can talk about that a
Bijoy,
little.
Bijoy.
Let's get back to Vijay.
Hindi edition announcement we will drop in April. I would say before Comic Con, before Mumbai Comic Con, that's April 16th, I think.
12,
13th, 12th,
and
yeah.
13.
12th, yeah. So before that, I'm expecting that we're able to drop announcement with cover reveal. So Hindi is going to have two covers.
A new cover.
One
Two
new
new
cover. No, one new cover and one
And the one by
the
Utsab.
fan favorite. Yeah, one is the fan favorite Utsab's cover. So yeah, we'll have an announcement very soon. In terms of work, translation is done. Lettering is going on right now. We just did like the cover logo and those things as well. So yeah, so just a matter of putting out the announcement very soon.
So it's gonna come and it's gonna come really soon.
Yes.
Okay, so I guess that's about it. That's all the question I have had. If you want to share anything more, you are free to move forward with it.
I just want to say, I let me put it this way, right? Like as a writer who's not really trying to do what writers are usually expected to do, right? I did face quite a lot of backlash in the earlier part of my career, right? So there's a lot of doubt as to is
For
this the
which
right
project did
way?
you get backlash?
Codename Alpha, both 1 and 2,
No, so
quite
that's
severely.
something you will. No. That was not severe. That's a basic reaction. 10 people will like, 5 might dislike, 2 might dislike. Not everyone has to like whatever you do.
Yeah. I mean,
That's fine.
no, I mean, I understand that aspect, right? Like that, not every book works for everyone. That is understood. But then there were a little more severe sort of reactions
You just have
from.
to filter out the noise and take only the creative, constructive criticism wala
Correct.
part and eradicate the hate rate, because many people love to hate on social media and
Of
you
course,
cannot let that
it's
affect you.
yeah. I mean, it's inevitable, right? So, I always had this question that okay, whatever next I'm coming up with, is it also going to be receiving the same sort of, is it going to be filtered through the same lens, right? So I always have, and especially when I'm talking about something, a topic that is as political as this, right? That question
Mhm.
is always there because there's a lot of people saying that, oh, this guy just, takes politics and just stuffs it into his book and, puts it out. Always had, I always had doubts whether people will even accept something like this, right? But surprisingly,
Mhm.
I don't know how it happened, some miracle, right? Surprisingly, it's been very well received, like far beyond what I could
Technical
imagine.
lovers, right?
Yeah, right, technical allows, yeah. So, and for that, I just want to say thank you to like all the readers, all the reviewers like yourself, everyone who basically stood by and supported us, supported Black Sheep so far, shown your love, and shown that you guys have so much anticipation for the second book and the third book as well, right? So
Mhm.
I just want to say that please, like you did with the first book, please continue to keep an open mind. Book two and book three are going to be very different from book one, but they're only going to get better, better and better. That's what we can promise you.
Sharper, I would say.
Yeah,
Sharper.
sharper, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Bijoy bhai, like one input that I would like to give, I'll
Mm.
take another creator's name here, and that is Shamik Da.
Mhm.
So what he does with his work is he breaks barriers and he is very unapologetic about it. He evokes all sorts of emotions among his readers. I don't know if you guys are reading his series Mrityu Bhumi. 3 issues have
Mm.
been put out, and it is
Mm.
going to be a long series. The third one is yet to come in English. And boy, oh boy, the kind of controversy it can raise. I just hope you guys read it when it comes in English, and you will come to understand like there can be certain extent that you can push yourself without regarding whatever the mass is going to respond to that
Right.
particular
Yeah.
project with. So because
Yeah.
if you are very skeptical about how well it will be received, you will be holding your creativity back a little.
Correct.
You will
Correct.
not
Yeah.
let yourself unhinge. वो आप करने नहीं दोगे खुद को, आप थोड़ा सिमट के रहोगे, and I don't want you to go through that. So
Correct.
Yeah.
if you're pissing off a couple of people, let them get pissed off with whatever you are doing. But if majority is loving it, you are in the right direction.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're true. I mean, 100% true. In fact, Shamik is also like one of the reasons why, I even started writing in the first place, right? Because the story sort of really sort of, he tells simple stories, but you're like, the way, the treatment he gives to those simple
Mhm.
stories is so fantastic that you're like,
Yeah,
oh, I should write
true.
like this guy, right? And if I could be even like 5% of what Shamik is, right? That's like achievement. I'll retire that day. So
You are there. And what I have seen is like there is a kahavat ki I don't do different things, I do things differently. So
uh,
he takes inspirations, he blatantly takes inspirations and makes his own version out of it,
hmm,
and that is just as entertaining, if not more, than the inspiration he had
correct,
taken from.
correct.
And so yeah, that's I guess enough about Shamik. I wish he was also here in this meeting with us, but as it is more about Technicolor Lovers and Black Sheep, so I guess we three are here, we four. And तदम भाई, आप कुछ कहना चाहोगे? काफी टाइम से चुप हो.
Just want to say कि we are not Black Sheep comics. We are just Black Sheep.
Uh, right. So
Yeah,
my bad.
I mean, simply Black Sheep. Yeah. Some people are referring to us as Black Sheep comics. Yeah, Black Sheep publication. Yeah, as a good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind next time. Black Sheep.
No, I'm not. मैं तुमको नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. I have seen like some people calling us Black Sheep Comics and stuff.
अब क्या करें,
Oh, by the
हर
way,
किसी को ये
it's Bijoy's
टेक्निकलिटीज।
idea. It was Bijoy's idea to just name it Black Sheep instead of Black Sheep Productions or Black Sheep Comics.
Any
ठीक है.
particular reason why you omitted this publishers, productions, or comics?
No, that's the moment you define a label like that, it puts us in a bracket, right? Like we see now, it's like the sky is the limit, right? We can be a publisher, we can be a musical theater production company, we can be a video game company. You name it, we can be that, right? So just left it open. I mean, it's up to you to define what we are. It's up to the audience to define what we are, rather than us defining ourselves in a box.
That's a great POV. Interesting. And Ushabda, तुम्हें किसे बोलते चाहो?
For book 2 and book 3, I just want to coin one line from Batman. This is the slow knife that cuts deepest. That's
Boom. Need no explanation. Just take a moment, sip it all in what he just said. And that piques my interest. That makes me anticipate it even more. And I have been supporting this project. I will keep on supporting this project, but I will also be unforgiving अगर मुझे 1.5-2 साल से ज़्यादा wait करना पड़ा. Let me be brutally honest about that.
No, you should be brutally honest. You should be.
Yeah, that's what Neo Comics has been all about. So yeah, guys, I guess that's it. Thank you so much to all three of you for giving your valuable time. I'll wrap up this video here. आशा करता हूँ आप लोगों को ये वीडियो काफी पसंद आया. बहुत ही इंसाइटफुल था, बहुत इन्फॉर्मेटिव था. मुझे काफी कुछ जानने के लिए मिला एंड आई होप आप लोगों को भी काफी कुछ जानने के लिए मिला इस वीडियो के थ्रू. मिलूंगा मैं आप लोगों से अगले वीडियो में. तब तक के लिए टेक केयर. बाय बाय.
Bye. Bye.